Okay, Section 305, sub 3, paragraph 2, I think. Paragraph 1 says when there is when there is threat of war. Paragraph 2 says when there is imminent threat of an invasion or the possibility of war in the country. Now, Section 2 of that same section, 305 sub 2, says that the president shall declare a state of emergency. Shall, in law, is obligatory. So the president has a primary responsibility to prevent either war or a possible invasion of Nigeria or a possible breakdown of law and order or a possible threat of war in any part of the federation. We do not question his powers in that regard. What is being questioned is how he has exercised that power. However, the contentious issue this morning is 305 sub 2 about imminent threat. Now, the president receives a lot of security reports. He gets the blue paper every morning from the Nigerian Intelligence Agency. He gets the report from the DSS every morning. I don't know what color the DSS is using now. It's a report. It comes in the morning, and the president, will read it and all of that. I don't want to give you. I got to know the various reports. Absolutely. He gets a report from Directorate of Military Intelligence. He gets briefing also from the National Security Advisor. And that is why sometimes, the president having a helicopter view, even if you are a presidential advisor, you tell him certain things, he may rely on those security reports to take a decision. The other part of it to note is that the situation in Rivers State, I hold the view that there was imminent threat of danger. No argument about that. Because we saw that the Ijaw Youth Congress was already saying that they will blow up federal government assets in that region if Fubara was impeached. We saw that the Ijaw National Congress was also on television saying that there will be chaos. Now, I guess no responsible president will fold his arms and say, let them go and do their worst. What I do not agree with is collapsing democratic structures. And I go straight to that point. The story you brought about Ibokete Ibas now doing a song and a dance because of an illegal appointment that he has been given. Now, there is no local government structure in place in Rivers State. There is no House of Assembly. The only thing you have is a sole administrator. Who is going to hold Vice Admiral retired Ibokete Ibas accountable? This is the point we're making about transparency and accountability. There is a lacuna there. And I also argue that we also seem to have created an impression that when civilians have problems with our democracy, we go and look for a soldier, a retired soldier, to come and help. Is it that there are no decent civilians who can even help in this kind of situation? So that's also another question about transparency and accountability. And that leads me to the National Assembly. The main question we're raising is about transparency. They said they went into a closed session in the Senate. What was that closed session all about? We said yesterday on this program, we want to see it live because all of us have a stake in this matter because it's our democracy that is at stake. And that's why I agree with Mr. Peter Obi, who said that the best practice in other places is that they will emphasize transparency and accountability. Absolutely. There will either be a roll call or the voting will be by electronic means. But we're still running the legislature in Nigeria as if we're in antediluvian times, operating democracy as if we're living in the Stone Age. And Senator Seriake Dixon has already issued a statement saying that when they went into that closed session, even before it, there was an attempt to gag him, and at the closed session, there were some senators who disagreed vehemently. But it was clear that those senators would not be allowed to speak in plenary. Now, we cannot have a kangaroo legislature at the national level because at the end of the day, some people walked out. Senator Tambuwa, according to Senator Seriake Dixon himself walked out of the plenary session because they saw that the outcome had been predetermined, and the National Assembly probably, arguably, lived up to its reputation as a Babasope National Assembly. And that is why the president is praising them for patriotism. The president may praise them for patriotism, but Nigerians are not convinced that the process was transparent. And that, again, is well illustrated by the fact that Obi Agwocha, Honorable, was shouted down by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. We are just saying anything they do should be transparent and accountable. And the people have the right to ask questions.
Absolutely. Well said, Dr. Abati.